and welcome to another episode of the Mighty Misfit Menagerie, or...
Before Coulter rudely interrupted me, so then we finished the reach around. And then...
and, wow, entire train of thought and just gone.
That's what we live for.
I have, like, the intro ready in my head, I'm watching, doing my little dance. All right, with that... Tonight we're going to be doing 2 hours of Wild Beyond the Witchlight, followed by a brief break and 2 hours of Zikran's
Zephyrian Tome.
I can never get that name right. It's good alliteration.
I thought you were about to say Zorro. It's like,
Nope.
Oh my God,
DM5.
Can we do a Zorro one-shot? Like an old vest with like really heavy Spanish themes and rapiers and letters. But we could do like Noro, so it's like an N.
I'm glad you said rapiers. Just saying.
And on that note, both of those, the Zorro one-shot as well as the Candlekeep Mystery Seeding, will be DM'd by our very own Margarita.
Dude, you gotta come up with this Zorro one-shot.
I'm working on it.
We'll schedule it for like September.
Yeah, that's great. Perfect.
Or like
our new word for Tuesday.
Yeah.
And with all of that out of the way, which was a super insightful and cohesive, coherent introduction, I would like to turn to something even more cohesive, coherent, and useful, and that is our recapitation.
So, we just met Argentel. She's the queen of these group of people, the Korads. And they're like, we're not with the Jabberwock. He is a creature of chaos and cannot be tamed. And we're like, respect. They're talking about the hag. They call her Bitter End. They're like, you guys should go kill the Brigand Rocks. They do her bidding and they terrorize people, which we cannot abide. Their Korads also have like a little spy that's like a double agent, Galabdor. He's working in the mines as far as we know. And then there is a way through the mines where we can get to Motherhorn. So we're like dancing, having a good time. We learn a special ability, which and that allows us to control the Korad's hair. So long rest.
Which is made out of metal. So it's more useful than controlling normal hair.
That is generally not made out of metal.
Indeed. So we long rest, we hit the road, we see this little young goblin girl, Spinia. She's like flying a kite, and we're like, hey girl, that's cool, go fly your kite. And she's like, no, I want to stop flying this kite, but it won't let me. The kite starts taunting us, and so we're like, you can't get away with this kite. So we all work together, cut the strings, it falls down. And she's like, so also my parents are in Motherhorn. So we're like, girl, you stay in the safe cave here. We're gonna go take her down. She's like, cool, thanks. So we travel some more. We go near the lake. There's all these rock columns, and there's these winged eagle deer things, like they're like harrying somebody on the ground, and we're like, yo, Cody's like, hey, can you guys like stop? And they're like, we're the Greyhawk Mummers, and we used to be elves. And Cody's like, let us negotiate. I'll give you some info on how to get back to hither. And then I think Helena stopped paying attention, so I don't remember.
Where he gave them what they wanted the most, the opportunity to perform again.
For idiots.
Which it wouldn't really matter. They think everybody's idiots, so that works out just fine. At that point, you all approached Alagarthas as he was coming down from the fifth of the beacons he was attempting to light. It turns out, just for everybody's information, based on the book, he lit those way too fast, but we're going to keep it for continuity's sake. Coming down to the beacon, you told him what you did, and he burst out into a cackling laughter, and that is where we ended. So now you are all standing in the twilight around this lake, 5 of the beacons lit, and him bent over, one hand carefully keeping the branch lit that he's been lighting each of these with, and coming down, heaving from his laughter. Terribly sorry that must happen. I'm unprofessional of me. I'm very grateful. I really can't express that enough.
No, we all do strange things in times of stress or for stress relief. That's fine.
Yeah, you should see Cody.
Yeah, that's true.
It's been
I'm not touching myself. Is that what you guys are talking about? Okay. I do that sometimes.
It's been days, this cycle. I've tried each of the beacons, seeing if perhaps there'd be one of them that they'd just let me start with. I just assumed I'd be here forever.
So they've been bothering you continuously for days.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
It seems anytime I lay down to rest, they do the same, and as soon as I get up and try and sneak away to light another beacon, they have very good hearing.
Well, I'm glad we at least got them out of the way. I'm so sorry. What was your name again?
Apologies. Alagarthas?
Yes.
Hello.
Prince?
Oh, curtsy.
Weren't we supposed to help a prince do something?
I think we were supposed to help this prince light these beacons.
You're allies with the knight, that knight,
Dandelion?
the dandelion knight.
Who we could point to.
I don't believe I've ever had the pleasure of your acquaintance. And he holds out a hand to the knight and shakes it and then recognizes Gleam.
That's who he knew.
For better or for worse, we're all still here.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm confused. So the deer birds had something to do with you?
That's a little complicated.
I just wanted them to.
They
I just wanted to talk to them, honestly, and they kind of got out of hand.
They were once it sounds like you heard a troop from Greyhawk.
Yes, mumblers.
We heard.
The mummers were transported here by the hag to perform in her theater.
Mumblers.
Just go.
Were brought here by the hag to perform in her theater. They did pantomimes, but they were very popular, they were very talented, and it went a little bit to their head. So she locked them all in cages, at least that was the last I saw them.
They seemed incredibly humble to me.
I couldn't understand a word they were saying. I was just playing my flute. You were very animated.
It was odd that you guys let me go that long. Usually you guys stop me. And
You just seemed like you were having so much fun. And
I think we just went with our instincts that time and mean it with kid's flute and my flute. No, wait, my flute, your lute.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So are you all natives of the Fae then?
no.
well, with the exception of Percy.
You traveled from the material plane to help me.
Truthfully, we traveled to defeat the hag.
Are you from
From here.
Toril then?
From where?
Toril.
Elf
My
Isles?
people? Have I been gone for long?
Who are
They
you?
sent you here to...
No.
Perhaps I've been so long I've been forgotten.
Well, to be fair, my dear love and Cade and myself have been out of the world for about 8 years.
She's kept you here that long?
No, we were with the Witchlight Carnival.
Oh!
A newfound profession.
So which kingdom are you with? Maybe we've heard news.
I'm sorry, the
I haven't
smoke
heard
from
of that one.
the fire gets me sometimes. From...
You know, it's really not polite to interrogate somebody upon first
You can't
meeting.
just ask
Apologies.
someone where they're from.
I can't ask someone where they're from. Is this true? I'm very confused. because
Meadowlark.
that's- Can I make a history check?
Sure.
Can I
Minus
also?
2. 6.
I'll
Have I
try
heard of that
one.
place?
No.
Okay.
I remember it when I was a child, the carnival came.
Oh no. Big deal.
It was great fun.
Regardless, Your Highness, how may we be of service to you?
I think the service has already been rendered. I must simply continue lighting these and hope that there's not another trick up the hag's sleeve.
it'll be harder for the hag to have a trick up her sleeve if she has no arms and is dead.
That's true.
I'm with
I don't
that.
think the prince was planning on waiting for us to kill the hag.
Maybe the prince could help us.
We still have to go kill the Bogglebugs, and
Yeah.
I
and
mean,
then usually there's a lot of things in between us and the hags.
how many
And
beacons
there's
are
the
left?
Cyclops.
3.
Could we help him?
No.
You have to do it.
It must be unassisted. The words were clear.
Oh.
Well, then
Did we?
I'm gonna go.
Well, technically, when I stopped the deer birds, I wasn't attempting to help him.
That's fair.
Whatever the nearest tower is that's like not lit, I'm gonna go stand in front
Cared about
at the
that.
steps or whatever and look like I'm gonna try to block him.
I do not want.
And then like kind of shift to the side a little bit.
Percy,
He's pretending like he's trying to stop you in case you're being observed.
You can't go this way.
Back!
Oh no!
Creature!
I'll like lean to the side. Oh no!
And he like sidesteps around you and then rushes up the steps.
Into Solstice, should we be doing that?
On the
didn't seem like you tried very
on the loot.
I like to take out a dart as if like, should we attack him?
This is the time to be cool.
I am incredibly cold. There's no sunlight here.
What are you all doing while he is lighting his beacon?
I'm kind of just mimicking his actions on the lute. So like if he's stepping, I'm like playing it.
He's got a
Soundtrack.
compliment.
Yeah.
Yes, I like it. Soundtrack.
Every time he trips, it's like...
And the fire spiders.
If it helps, this may be the greatest hindrance yet.
I'm gonna.
Excellent.
I would like to keep an eye out for anything else that might be coming to bother him in the skies or whatnot.
Sure, go ahead, yeah.
Okay.
Go and make a perception check.
Remind me of
Same,
a
but
break
not.
to tell you about something cool that happened.
I want to do the same, but I'm like pretending not to. Like,
Okay.
slightly.
Okay.
Okay. 25.
Oh, damn.
Nice.
That is 20.
Okay, but acknowledge him.
Yeah, natural 20.
Yes, but you can't crit kill.
Well, but still, you have to
Okay,
acknowledge
the
him
nat
or he won't
20.
come back.
All right. Thank
We
you.
must. It must be sacred. The nat 20.
Absolutely.
The skies are fairly clear from what you can see, but in that deep focus, you can still hear far off in the distance the working of pickaxes, just barely reaching you. And as you focus on that direction, a crash of lightning strikes and goes right across the sky to one of those huge lightning rods on a hill above this crater rather, and off to Motherhorn.
Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening.
How far away is that lightning rod from us?
It's I'd say about a mile.
Okay.
You could just see it really well because it's at the top of the.
I wonder what those do.
Plus, the dimensions of the Feywild are incomprehensible because they use kilometers. That's why you can never know where anything is.
They don't use phalanges.
No.
Yeah.
As you all continue to keep an eye out and pretend to hinder him, he gets the last 2 of the beacons lit after that one.
Oh no, we've been thwarted.
Shoot.
I appreciate all of your continued help. I think it's just that nobody could help me light them, but this is really a good failsafe just in case. And
Oh no.
as you,
I would like to sleight of hand the torch out of his hand.
well, they're all lit now.
Can I still do it?
Sure.
I'm not using my character sheet open. I'm sorry, guys. It is so early for real.
I would like to point out that as he got the last one, I did like the big rock ending on the loot.
It's a 23.
You saw him like at the top of the thing, like, shaking his arms. Yeah, you're able to take it right out of his hands.
So I
doesn't
hold
even
it
seem to
still
notice.
lit behind my back, and I go, "Oh no! How will you ever complete your task now?" And I like wink at Percy.
As you do that, and he looks at you confused beneath the light of all the beacons. Go ahead.
If he's holding it behind his back, is anything going to catch on fire?
That's what I was thinking.
So far not, but there is smoke coming up from it. As you hold that behind your back, and he seems to not have noticed that it's been removed from his hands, beneath the light of all the beacons, you see reflected in the mirror-like surface of the lake a forest of ancient trees shrouded in mist. Alagarthas bows to you, then leaps into the lake.
Don't drown!
As he plunges into the water, ripples fan out across the surface, and after a moment, the forest scene fades away, and the beacons go out, one by one.
I told you we just needed to find a big enough mirror. Look at that.
So do you think
Is his hat on fire yet?
No, I'm now
Now
putting my
decorating
own
with
this.
And there's like sparks coming off of it and like landing onto the ground. Several of you have to kind of move a little bit back as he's waving the fire at each of you.
Cody does an elaborate celebration as he has been proven right that we are trapped in a mirror and you just need a bigger mirror to get out.
Okay, but Cody, do you think that we need to light these beacons and it will...
No, because we have to kill the hags. That's not what I'm saying. But my theory's right. I just had it backwards. Not only are we trapped in the mirror, but we're very small. So we need a big mirror because obviously we've gotten smaller. So to get back into our mirror, it needs to be a big mirror so that we can get back to our world.
I put 1 foot into the water. Just
No. We got to kill the hag. Don't get lost.
take my foot out and shake it.
Do you do the hokey pokey then?
Turn myself around, absolutely.
It
That's
makes
what it's all
sense
about.
'cause,
Thank
like,
you.
when you look in your reflection in the first world, it's the same size as you, but like you lose mass every time because magical shenanigans, and so we're like 3 mirrors deep at this point. So it would have to be a rather large mirror.
What are we gonna do?
Percy just flies up and just caresses his face.
I wonder.
Whereas I look over to Cade and I start saying, is it awful? He's starting to make sense.
I fear we've been here longer than we feel. To the mines.
To the mine?
Yeah.
Do we want to kill the Cyclops real quick?
Where's the Cyclops?
Oh, what's Dandelion's name? Not Dandelion.
Dandelion?
Dandelion's knight's name.
I need a Rolodex.
What caliber is it?
No,
It's
Calabar would be
Amador.
Amador. Are we close to the Queen's Hive?
Well, just looks around. Just the flower turning different directions. North? And Gleam taps him on the shoulder and moves his hand.
He's like you.
You're like, what?
Shouldn't be.
Never mind.
You have impossible direction sense.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Which direction we just come from?
That way?
No.
No.
And if Cody points behind him. See, I'm facing forward, so I came from. You get that, right?
But if you're facing that way, we came from the opposite way.
Yeah, and you're pointed in a different direction.
If you wish
That's
to free my lady, I see no nobler cause.
I mean, I can think of no nobler cause. And we want to get it accomplished before we fall into a really big mirror now that we know how to get home, so.
Fantastic.
No, we can't even bathe.
Well,
That's
you could
true.
bathe in a small space,
No,
just
we
not a
can-
large space.
Well, you know I like to feel the water against my most every inch.
Yes, you told me
In
many
every
times.
every new water we come to. It's very important.
And it has to be a large body of water because you need to feel the moon caressing your body like a sensual lover.
Yes.
Now Solstice is starting to make sense too.
And Joker gets really
stop acknowledging it.
Well, shall we?
Let's shout.
Let us go. This is an excellent day to start.
I imagine it'd be easier than a Biclops.
Why?
Unless they have one less resource.
Yeah. I can see that it would be easier.
Why would having only one eye make you?
Or a trigloss.
We're
I've not
Less
encountered a
depth
triclops.
perception.
What?
No one's gonna.
You move forward out of this area, going through the wending hilltops around in the direction that
So you're saying the more eyes you have, the more deeps you can perceive?
Amador has generally pointed with the assistance of Glee. Remind me of everyone's passive perceptions.
Terrible.
15?
And
Does that mean spiders just they're always looking at like some deep unknown realm?
I can only hope.
Well, you told us you almost touched the void of nothingness.
That is true, but I wasn't a spider at that time.
No, but because you've been a spider, you know how to look for it.
Perhaps.
I've never been a spider myself. I was a squirrel once.
As this conversation happens, you're going through a particularly narrow section of this trail with the walls kind of coming up on either side. Geltra, you are the only one to notice that at the back of the group, closer to where you're standing, are two short shadows that don't seem to be attached to any of your party.
Children, you're not paying attention. I asked you a question.
Looking closer at them, they appear to be shaped like goblins.
Oh, I wonder how. God, what was her name again? The little goblin girl. Insert goblin name.
Spenya.
I wonder how Spenya is getting along, and if any of her people have found her yet. I gesture like spastically
Can I
with my
make an
head.
insight check to see if I
Yes.
understand what she's trying to say?
Sure, go ahead.
It's terrible for a young lady to have to deal with such discrimination.
They seem to be moving just like they're regularly walking,
Okay.
like almost trying to match the party.
17?
Yeah.
Okay. So I notice them now?
You get where she's like looking at and can see them.
So I will look out of like the corner of my eye using my roguelike abilities, notice them, and then cast Fairy Fire on them.
On the shadows?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they get a save.
Dex save.
Is that blue?
It did kind of sound like blue.
So that'll be an 11 and a 19.
The 19 makes it, the 11 does not.
One of the shadows is ringed in sparkles on the ground.
What? Oh!
I immediately put my hands on my hips as that. I thought that would kill them.
You wanted
what?
to kill them.
There's-
They belong to someone.
Can shadows hear you?
I mean,
I'll
Not
throw a dart
normally,
at the one that's
however-
lit
Oh,
up.
jeez.
Okay.
I just don't know if I can kill them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, go ahead and roll to attack.
I'm guessing this is the work of the hag here. She likes to keep shadows.
oh, this is a nat 20 and a nat 1. What are the odds of that? But it was with advantage, so it is a nat 20, to be clear.
The second one.
That'll hit, yeah.
Right. Did I mention that I was sharpshooting?
It's because we respected the first one.
Respect in 20.
Any magicians watching, the chances of Rio rolling a 20 and a 1 with 2 rolls of the dice is 1 in 400, right?
According to Brendan Lee Mulligan, yeah.
Well, and I love that you called them math magicians because that is accurate.
Okay, somebody help me with. I need a math magician. 12 plus 4
16.
plus 6.
22.
22 plus 10.
32.
32.
Right. I really hope I'm not killing this kid's
All
parents
does
right
me at this
now.
point.
And then 10
Another
32.
3. Okay. And
plus 3
45.
plus 1. 46.
46.
I feel like we made a TikTok about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having flashbacks.
We did make a TikTok.
Yeah, and I was the same
And I'm the
role.
one that yelled.
The dart lands squarely in the ground into that shadow, and you see blood in the shadow itself, just like it illuminated as if it was happening to a person that you were now seeing light cast through, spray out into the ground as that shadow, like, and then all of the darkness comes together and dissolves, and the other shadow goes, and he turns and runs.
What?
I pull out my second dart.
They were supposed to help us, I bet.
Well, I didn't know.
Cody Lilac, Destroyer of Shadows.
Why did you just attack it?
Why did you just orphan a little goblin?
Okay,
That could've
that's
been
meta.
What can I do? I'm like, no, stop! And I'm gonna wild.
Can I
I'm
add a
gonna
message
scream back.
to it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
It's a shadow. I don't know if it's gonna respond.
No response.
I'd just like to point out that it doesn't look so ridiculous to throw a dart at a shadow now, does it?
Why did
Well,
you
you
just
mean-
attack
You need to
it?
be more careful.
Well, I had to.
They belong to someone.
Well, I just had to see if we could harm it.
Well, why?
Because the hag we're fighting enslaves people's shadows.
But how do we know it was evil?
I'm going to throw that dart at that one. Is it still within 60 feet?
No,
Oh my God.
that one is gone. It slipped into a crevice.
Crevasse?
Yes.
I want to run back as wherever I might have seen it go and just. I'm really sorry.
I would like to search the shadows.
Hello.
We
There
could
is
try healing.
Is the other shadow still there? It's nothing. There's nothing there.
No, it's just like dissolved.
It's just a pool of blood.
Just first to point out, Gleam told us that she steals your shadow and then enslaves it.
Yes. To be fair, more than likely they were minions.
Well,
Possibly unwilling minions. I'm not quite set on how that side works. But,
I mean, you could have maybe gotten your shadow back. Right.
those are much too short to be mine.
Well, that's true.
Maybe they were standing near like a really low fire.
They looked well, and that's why I brought up. Oh gosh, her name.
Spinda.
Fenia.
Fenia. That's why I brought up Fenia. They look like goblins.
There are a fairly large population of goblins here. The likelihood that they're
Hurt her family.
related to them is, I mean, at least 1 in 100.
I would just like to point out there's a 50-50 chance that I either A, killed an innocent man or woman, or B, stopped the hag from spying on us.
you made a call, and I can respect it.
So it's a 50-50 chance. Whether those people will now never have a shadow again is possible. Whether that's bad, it's also 50-50 chance.
I mean, you seem to be doing fine.
I can't re-enter any sort of Fey society, but perhaps when I go home, if I go home,
You could get a prosthetic.
How do you...
A glamour.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking if I had a spell where I could cast a shadow using magic for her, but I don't think I have one. Damn you, Ranger. This is why Ranger's the worst class. I didn't have the spell I wanted in the exact moment that I needed it.
as you're having this discussion, you hear down this pathway a loud sound. One of a large creature rumbling along as it calls out, "Polynella! Polynella!"
What is that?
Polynella.
Oh. Okay. What? Oh.
Be wary,
Oh.
for that may be our villain.
Hello, is that our villain?
Oh.
Polynella?
How many eyes do you have? I'm finding out if that's the Cyclops.
I would like to cast Speak with Animals and then speak in B to try and deceive the Cyclops.
We don't even know if it is a Cyclops.
That's what I'm trying to determine.
Go ahead.
Okay, so deception, performance.
Performance.
Can I have advantage?
You may. I'll give it to you.
It worked.
Probably doesn't mean anything.
The DM just gives you something.
16.
Let's see here.
Also, thank you for making a performance and not deception, because I'm not good at deception. I spent most of my life not lying. But being an actor, I have done.
It was a what?
16.
15. All right.
And then, to be clear, for my plan, I moved away from the group so that he comes after me and not the actor.
I move with you if
Yeah.
you start.
So I'm thinking, like, maybe you guys run over to this group of rocks, and then, like, we ran over here.
You didn't tell us that.
Well, you saw me and Solstice run over here towards the north, or closer to the creature, and then I said in B, like, get somewhere safe.
I don't know.
We don't understand.
Was it?
Oh, no, bees talk by dancing, so it was a lot of, like...
I don't know what you're doing.
So all of them are still just standing out in the middle as you two run to one side.
Fine, I will also cast Speak with Animals then, so I can figure out what the heck is going on.
And then as soon as your spell comes into effect, I'm like, why aren't you hiding?
Oh.
We don't need to hide. It's
We just
just
maybe
a Cyclops.
I've not encountered. I've heard stories about cyclopses, and usually they're large and sometimes not friendly. And something that's going to take over. Let's just go hide.
I
Give
heard.
me a minute.
Stories of friendly cyclopses?
I just
Rainy
remembered.
encountered a lot of things.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I use my spirit table and recall an ancestor that was visited by a cyclops and see what other tale I get?
That's the longest, hey, can I use one of my abilities?
But I like the
It was a
description.
Yes.
9. So what is on? I have to use my bardic. So there, and then let me find a bard at the table because it's not in D&D.
I'm pretty sure it is indeed the Beyond.
What is this?
His vision table.
You know, I really am proud of Jill. She's coming along quite nicely.
We stopped trying to sleep with her.
I didn't mean that. I meant in battle.
Oh. She doesn't
Too
seem to
bad.
like it.
Indeed, and why it is admirable that she improves herself in this arena.
I tell you the story of a cousin, Linda, who was struck by lightning, and every creature around it took damage.
Oh no.
I got Tale of the Brood.
Oh yes, darling, it was terrible, but at least that bitch Marie got what was coming.
So who's the Cyclops in this story? Marie or your Aunt Linda?
So does that mean that his heron-gone uncle got it with Aunt Linda the Cyclops? If that's what happened?
Yeah, that's how. I'm trying to figure out how this was.
So is there a bunnyclops out there somewhere?
Oh,
Basically,
the normal Herringone is just one
heron
ear.
claps.
As you look up at what is your aunt, who does only have one ear, trying to figure out how all of this worked, or if she just lost it in the lightning, a giant brute comes rumbling around the corner, led forward by a swarm of bees.
Oh, it's a big boy!
And he's looking around behind each of the rocks, shouting, Polonella! Polonella! And then he'll mumble something in a language that none of you seem to understand. And then
Bold
he
of you to
stops.
assume.
Does anybody speak giant?
Bold of you to...
Oh no.
Yep. E.
That's not a primordial dialect, is it?
Are the two of you hiding?
Solstice just yelled out, he's a large brute,
Yeah.
so I think we're
To
obvious.
be
The
honest.
Cyclops, who I love his outfit, so we'll go ahead and look at Mudline real quick.
Show us the art. Oh, look at his apiary suit.
It's kind of cute,
That's
actually.
pretty cool. Cody has a moment as he looks at this creature who is lovingly caring for a beehive. There's a moment where he's like, "Are we doing the wrong thing?"
Like it's just pull a shadow right
is
now.
Polynesia just not understanding the situation? Like maybe she's just a rebellious princess or something.
As
You can use your words and
No, this is
talk
all
us
in my
out
head.
of
This
this.
is all in my
Oh,
head.
okay.
as you both are out in the open with Tempest having just yelled, Solstice having just yelled, Modlum turns to you and aggressively in giant yells.
I'm afraid we don't understand you. Do you know any other languages?
And then I will aggressively yell back in B, "Speak common!"
Polonella.
Yes, I'm afraid she's not interested in joining you again. So if you will take your leave, it is best to respect a lady's wishes.
I will look him straight in the eye and tell him that I am Polynella in B.
He does not speak bee. He stamps the staff he's holding that has the beehive at the end of it, and you hear an angry buzzing as another swarm of bees emerges from it.
I will turn my swarm into a swarm of bees.
Roll for initiative.
I can't make a diplomacy check with the bees.
He doesn't speak bee.
No, for the bees I meant.
Oh. They're not real bees.
There's
Are they Orbeez?
Yes. Just like fall to the ground. A little
17.
Quick, no one put any water near them.
Oh, ruin the plumbing.
All right.
11.
14.
18.
10.
And let's see what our good friends over here got. Don't you just love it?
I love the frame for Yawn. It reminds me of like old Hollywood hotels.
That's what I was going for. That's the vibe I was
Art
getting.
Like
Deco.
Bioshock.
Yeah. With the appropriate amount of people who wield bees as well.
It's not wrong.
All right. So that means Cody, you're up first.
Can I, if I want to only do this if it's reflexive,
Okay.
can I make a reflexive insight check to see if maybe this guy is actually a fantastic bee father and Polyno is just a willful teen?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Roll family history.
12 plus
Familial
3,
insight.
15.
Hmm. 15. It is clear that he cares about the bees. The bees are not free.
Okay, so the bees are enslaved, but he loves his slaves, essentially. What?
Yeah.
Okay. But we don't speak giant, and no one has a way of speaking to him, right? Then murder is our only recourse.
I
have an int of
communicate
6.
with you. And
But you're wise.
I am wise, but if we can't talk to him and he's enslaving people, I feel like you killed that
are
thing.
people bees? Or are bees
Yes.
people? Hold on.
We're traveling with a bee.
You turn into animals.
But she's a bee. I know.
Okay.
So I'm going to attempt 3 sharp shots on the Cyclops.
Okay.
Sharp shot 1. Why am I rolling with advantage? Do I have advantage? No.
No.
All right, so that's a nat 1 on the first one, so ignore that. 18 plus 9?
That'll hit.
Well, minus 5.
27, so 22.
That'll hit.
Last attack is a nat 2, so ignoring that as well. 10, 14, 18, 28. And he is now hunter's marked.
Okay, 28.
Yes.
He goes, no, Baronella.
Well, so now you know the word no.
It's the same in Giant and Common. It's the same in
Yeah.
most languages.
Wait,
Weird.
Yeah.
¿Cómo están? No? Okay. What other languages
didn't
have
sound
no
like-
that's the
Okay,
same?
you're up.
Oh. How far can I get? How
Right.
close can I get to them?
Real quick, can I also move behind Solstice? Because that's where I prefer to be.
Which one are you? You're this one?
Nope, that
That
one.
one?
The bunny.
You're like using your full movement or just 30? Or are you
30 is my
dashing?
normal.
Well, is that
You're
a
right there.
is that a column that would he have to run around it? Unfortunately.
Like,
It's an overhang, so you guys are beneath it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then how close are they?
how close or what?
How close is this first
Warm.
swarm?
50.
If I use a bonus action to get closer, can I still...
Can't you jump as a bonus action?
I can jump 15 feet.
I was like, can't you do that as a bonus action?
Mm-hmm. I would like to do that.
So that would put you within, what, 35 feet? How close do you need to be?
I need to be 30 feet. So maybe I don't jump, maybe I just double move.
Well, can you double move and then still do it? What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to strike the giant with lightning.
You have to be within 30 feet?
Mm-hmm.
What spell?
My Tales of the Bard.
Oh.
Tale of the Brute, specifically. Each creature of the target's choice it can see within 30 feet of it must make a strength saving throw.
Like his aunt.
Mm.
I was listening first.
So that would put you there if you dashed.
Perfect. And then I will target and target the bees, telling them about my Aunt Linda who got struck by lightning.
Mm.
So I guess they all have to make a strength saving throw?
Just the two swarms or all three of them?
Is it within 5 feet of the creature you hit?
Each creature of the target's choice it can see within 30 feet of it.
Oh,
Or am
okay.
I the target?
Wait, what spell is this?
It's his
Kind of
bardic
spell, it's a
ability.
bardic ability. Read it. Just read it out.
Each creature of the target's choice it can see within 30 feet of it must make a strength saving throw.
Each creature
So-
of the target's choice.
Yeah.
So it's targeted
So
on
I guess
you.
I'm target. I guess I'm the creature, and I can see them, and they're within 30 feet.
Yes.
So they all must make
Then
a
make
strength
a
saving
strength
throw.
saving throw.
Okay.
Are any of us within 30 feet? Because we are
No.
creatures. Oh, but it's creatures of your choice. So no.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so both swarms of bees, it's a 5 and a 10, and the Cyclops is a 16.
What is my spell save?
I don't know. What is your spell save?
15.
Mm.
So both of the bees are affected and not Mudlump.
Mudlump will take.
Excellent. Tell me what they take.
The bees are knocked prone.
Just,
So they fall to the ground.
Yep.
Are they swarms, Coulter?
they are.
I think swarms are immune to prone.
They are.
No.
Well, you try to have fun one time.
Yep.
So they take 7 and Mudlump takes 3. Whip that one.
As you hear Amador call from behind, "Do not hurt my in-laws!"
You know, this is what I get for trying to take advantage of the cool bar table I get to
Wait,
use.
in-laws?
My queen. My family.
But I asked you specifically if it was a sexual relationship and you said no.
It is love.
He just sex met.
I'm confused. Didn't I ask him if he was in love with the bee and he said no?
Feelings of all.
So being around our burning passionate love and Nicaid and Jeltra's burning unrequited love awoken love within him.
Percy, you're up.
Well, I don't know if I should do
I'm gonna take his silence as the answer.
it. True.
Cade, I think we should fight the big guy and not the swarms. I think we're trying to not kill the bees.
I tried.
I mean, look at how few flowers are around here. I think the bees, they need to be alive.
These are majestic.
We're gonna. You said this is an overhang, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna friggin' swing 90 feet. I don't have cutting bolts, sorry. And,
The people can't hear our whispers.
For the best.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Right. This is an underhang here, overhang.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna right there. And I'm gonna shoot because I think I'm now less than 80 feet away. Yep. So, 16?
That will hit.
Okay. I want to get there twice now. Fuck yeah. That's 8 damage. And then the second shot is 25.
That'll hit.
And so that's 7 damage. And it is magical if that matters.
It does not. Okay, we will take that. Fantastically.
And then what's his name? Can he dash? You think he can?
If you use your bonus action.
Yeah. Action, yeah. So he's gonna go. I think it was like there.
Excellent.
That's me.
Right. We are down to Mud Lump. He is going to move up to the closest target he can see. His poor depth perception making it difficult to perceive where everything is coming from.
Uh-oh.
And go ahead.
I knew it.
2 attacks.
Oh no.
Does a 13 hit?
I actually don't think so.
Does a 22 hit?
It sure does.
He swings the club the first time, misjudging your height as you duck, the wind blowing your ears across, and he pulls back on the second swing and does 17 bludgeoning damage as it connects with your body. You can hear the buzzing of the bees as the club hits you, and more of them come spilling out of it to the sides and then come sucking back in.
Does he take additional bee damage?
He does not.
Villain, why do you want bee damage?
Well, I invented the concept of spider damage in one of my home games.
Oh,
so I was
that's
just
right.
hoping that
There
it
would
was
be
in
bee
it.
damage.
Because there was custard damage in this game,
There
so I
is
was like,
custard.
maybe there will be bee damage.
Shelter, you're up.
Okay. So, how far away am I from the bees right
Your
now?
Aunt Linda is very disappointed.
Yeah.
From the bees?
Yes, from the swarms of bees.
80 feet
Quite a lot of feet. Okay.
and 95 feet.
Okay, thank you. And then I will.
You are 70 feet or 65 feet away from Mudlump.
All right, so I would like to move up 20 feet. I'm going to run 20 feet forward. And then I would like to tell the bees.
Right there.
Yeah, that's good. That'll be good. I'm going to shout at the bees. Just try and stay out of it.
Did you already move?
Because I also have Speak with Animals up. So I am buzzing at the bees. Try and stay out of it.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Oof. This one. Persuasion. 8.
Okay.
They might have a terrible insight.
That's, yeah. And then I will cast Flaming Sphere.
Get out of here. I'm about to kill all of you.
No!
Where are you going to cast
I
it?
want to cast Flaming Sphere to what would be the north of Mudlum.
Okay.
So it's only a 5-foot diameter sphere of fire.
You just want to copy her.
Only.
Yeah, so it's just a big old 5 foot of fire. What-
As we are.
I've got a couple of ideas of what I want. One is to try and hurt Mudlump, but at the same time also some of the smoke might get to the bees and calm them down. So that's what I am hoping for.
The smoke from his moldering corpse.
Yeah.
And then he needs to make a deck save.
Yeah.
See,
So
that's
if
what
I
I'm talking
can,
about. They get outside the box.
a creature ending its turn, ending its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dex saving throw.
Oh. No, so no.
So, a 5-foot diameter sphere of fire appears in an unoccupied space of your choice within range and lasts for the duration. When I move the sphere, which I haven't done yet. So, yeah, and this is only at base level, so at second level.
Okay.
So,
All right. It is next to him.
okay. So there's fire on the side of him. Moved, spelled, tried to talk. That's all I can do.
All right. That's Solstice.
Okay. 2 shots. That's going to be a 16 and a 7.
16 will hit.
Right. It's going to be 4 plus 1, 5 damage. And then I'd like to go 30 feet in Mudlump's directione.
Swear you're not a barbarian anymore.
know.
So
Oh, hey,
you
not
Next to,
happening.
probably not next to the fire.
Do you want to stay 10 feet back so he's still within your reach?
Yeah, I didn't think I was so close to him. I guess he moved. Maybe that's why I thought
Yeah.
he was farther away. So yeah, within 10 feet. But is there like an aura of fire around him?
It's only if you end
right here.
next to it.
Within 5 feet of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. It is now Amador. He lovingly takes Polynella from his shoulder and sets her upon Gleam's shoulder as he bows to her and
It's a lot for 6 seconds.
rushes into battle. Oh, hush, I let you guys do all sorts of shit.
Don't fuck with the DM.
It just only seems that the 6-second rule applies to my turns.
Yes,
I lost to your turn.
All right, that is going to bring us back to the top of the round with Cody.
Seems like a lot for 6 seconds.
See? This is exactly what I'm talking about. I got him hunter's marked, so my bracers of archery on. I'm just gonna attempt 3 sharp shots. That's what I built him to do, right? Might as well do it. Okay, so 15 plus 9 minus 5. So 15
Hit.
plus 4. 16 plus 4.
Hits.
8 plus 4?
Does not hit.
So that's 1d4. Can I have a d4? My love. My light. My sky. d6. And it's this plus 8. So 4, 5, 10, 18 plus 10, 28 for the first one. And this is against the giant, whose name I can't
Mudlump.
remember. Muslim. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 10, 21 for the second one.
He is not looking happy right now as he wildly swings it around.
Can you imagine?
Okay, bud, you're up.
You guys won't let me multi-class this turn, or I 100% would have.
Turn?
This
Campaign.
We never said you couldn't.
I made a promise, a solemn vow that I
You
would not
promised
multi-class
yourself.
Cody.
That has nothing to do with us. You made that promise.
It's so hard.
You're up here.
Just scratch.
Can I, after I finally regain my breath after getting smacked by him, to start whispering a discordant melody and cast Dissonant Whispers?
Okay.
Can it make a wisdom save, please?
12.
It fails. So it's going to take 3d6 psychic damage.
And run away.
36.
3d6, maybe 36. We don't really know. That seems like a lot for 6 seconds.
Talking is a free action.
12 psychic damage.
And then he has to run his full movement away from you, correct?
Isn't
If
it
he
on
uses
his turn?
reaction. If he has one.
DM,
Mhm.
would this be considered a forced movement? or
Yes.
So no AOO.
Attack of opportunity.
Ah! Runs away. 8 is force movement.
Secret Sentinel.
All right. That will be. Anything else on your turn?
I'm going to put my hands on my knees as I continue to try to get my breath after getting smacked for over half my damage.
Oof.
Cade, move backward.
Okay. And then I'll use my movement to step a few steps back.
Yes, hide behind the dandelion.
You want to be like there?
I'll be between the dandelion and as well.
So then that will bring us down to Percy.
Okay, Percy's gonna shoot because I'm only 70. Actually, I'm gonna move up next to. If I want to do that, I'm gonna move like here.
Remember, you can fly.
I know I can.
He doesn't think of it on his own.
Where did you fly?
He's got perfectly
Come
good.
fly with me.
I just want to shooting him overcome his PTSD.
Seems like a lot for 6 seconds.
Why is it when I tell a joke, it is used against me forever?
25
Hit.
and 13.
25 hits, 13 does not.
Okay. Oh, 11 damage.
Ooh, okay, yeah, he's looking real bad. Real bad.
15, 20, 25, 30.
You shouldn't have come into our line.
Puzzle's gonna go there.
Oh, no.
All of his movement.
Okay.
And that is it. Wait, hold on. Wait, was that 45?
Isn't it safe?
Where did I?
No. I don't see a bed.
What? That's actually 40 feet there.
Okay.
Okay, so I can't attack.
Our next t-shirt's gonna be that seems like more than 6 seconds.
You know, we need to open a store before we can do that.
16 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay.
A big fan. What should I do?
10 force damage.
Oh, God. He's barely holding on. Okay. It's his turn. Destroy gospel.
I will.
Am I?
He is going to.
Is he still frightened?
Yes, we can't move closer at all.
Okay.
Oh, and then he also has disadvantage on his attacks because he can see Cade.
Okay, with disadvantage, does a 14 or an 18 hit Cosmo?
Yeah, I think
14 should miss.
18 hits.
That'll be 19 bludgeoning damage as the club comes slamming down onto him. And the bees come forward.
Cosmo's got a list to the left now. 'Cause he's the
He's always having a course.
Okay, hey Kate, does an 8 hit you?
No.
Hey Solstice, does a 7 hit you? Okay, the bees just come at you and go.
Are they saying anything in particular?
That you can hear?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can also hear them.
We don't know what we're doing, but this is scary and you're loud and we're here.
I buzz back. And then I
That
look
was
at
offensive.
Whoa!
And this one ends its turn within 5 feet of that. So how much damage does it take, Deltra?
Okay, it does a. Oh, Dex. I need a Dex save.
I go, Deltra, I'm sorry. Tell them I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend.
14.
That meets.
Okay.
So you're good.
All right,
So they
that
take
is
no
going to
damage.
bring us to Jeltra.
Half as much. Sorry. Why'd you do that? 9.
Call off the bees.
There's several
half nine,
bees
half
like
nine, so
falling
4.
into the fire
4.
as the swarm gets a little bit lower.
It would take 4.
Several of them turn to you as they die, and then B go, "You did this!"
They don't. It's okay. It's okay. But that will bring us to your turn.
Okay. I would like to move. Hold on. I'm going to need to move closer so that I can control the the fire, I think. Because I think I still have to be within 60 feet of it. So
This would be 30.
let's go
30, 25.
diagonal.
Okay. Like there.
Yeah. And then I want to move the fire. Yes, straight to his ass. That's exactly. Flaming sphere.
25. If we did 30, that'd be
30, I want to ram into him.
Okay.
If you ram the sphere into a creature, that creature must make the saving throw against the sphere damage.
Is that a dex?
Yeah.
17?
Makes it.
So
So
it takes
half
Dexterous
damage.
Cyclops.
We're going to do
Plus 0.
these guys. 8. So 4 damage there.
It slams into him, and you see the light in his eye go out as he falls onto the flaming sphere, and his clothes catch fire and begins to smoke.
Can I run up
Ash.
and save the hive? I'll use Zephyr Strike if I need to.
Go ahead.
As soon as I see him fall on it, I will let go of concentration
Okay.
on that spell.
Well, he's still on fire.
Well, yeah.
Excellent. You are out of combat as Cody rushes to save the hive, and the other bees kind of buzz in place, not sure what to do now.
I hold up the hive and go, I am now your king. I'm just kidding.
Gleam steps out from under the overhang with Pollinella in her hands as the very large bee begins to take flight, getting closer to the hives. All of them come and swarm around her in a circle as they have found their queen once more. Cody, with you holding the stick,
I've
they
taken a
all
knee.
begin to wend their way back into their hive.
It's beautiful.
I was going to say, how large is that stick, though? Because if it was, like...
It is a cyclops
it's like
size,
a
so it is, yeah,
huge-
big.
Yeah.
Cody immediately gets super emotional, makes eye contact with Ampidor and goes, but your love.
I was but a servant of a worthy queen. Her people are what matter.
You fell in love with her.
And that love, my lady, will never die.
He can continue to guard her.
I promise you, Ampidor, one day I will return here, the ability to turn you into a bee.
I'm very happy as a dandelion.
I would like to see how many...
Pact is sealed.
I'd like to see how many of the bees are starting to fly around him. Being
Oh.
as this is probably the only flower source in the area.
Oh yeah, like once they're settled, a lot of them come, like land and go back, and he doesn't really seem to notice as they kind
Right.
of go in and out of his leaves and his
Yeah.
foliage.
So it's a symbiotic.
Or a flower gang there.
It is just them enjoying their new friend.
Yeah.
Presently, all of you are standing over the smoldering body of Mudlump, the Cyclops, with the freed bees their queen returned to them.
What's it smell like? And also, is the smoke from the body calming the bees?
Well, I moved the hive away from him.
They do seem a lot chiller now that they don't feel threatened. Smoke from the body smells like burning flesh.
Unpleasant. Jeltra, could you apologize to the bees on my behalf? I didn't mean to offend them. earlier.
Of course,
I was buzzing in frustration.
I understand absolutely.
And tell
And
them we approve of their love with Sir Amador.
of course, yes, and I will start communicating all of that in dance, as I also would like to use Druidcraft to start putting out the flames. So, yeah.
As you get close enough to the body to put out the flames, you can see that just around the bend is a large
Just
open space where there seems to be the mouth of a cave.
Of course,
Oh.
there's always a cave.
Urge to their alchemist fire.
So
I make a few grammar corrections.
The bees tell you cave is home.
oh, the cave is their home. There's a cave around this way. Should we take them all? Amador, should we take your lady home?
Yes.
My love, I know you're already carrying the transformed unicorn, but could you help us with the hive as well?
Of course. I mean, I could help if need be, and I will.
Need be.
And I will say in B, don't be alarmed.
They are very logical creatures. It's
Okay.
all right.
I turn into my giant spider form.
Is there anything off Mudlump's body that
In
we
your
need to
giant
take?
spider form, you have no hands. You're going to carry it in your mouth?
The staff holding the thing, yes.
I
I have to do more research on spider mouths. I don't think they're as dexterous as you think they are.
Just this question. It appears that most of his clothes were destroyed in the fire. You do see that there's a few little like beekeeping things left over, like a smoke pail. There's some vials of honey that he's collected. It's great. Those are now in your inventory. Approaching where the bees said were their home, you find inside the cave a tumble-down moss-covered ruins. It seems that this was at one point more of an actual structured home that has fallen into decay. There's a small garden within where there are 6-foot-tall mushrooms, 3 feet wide as they go up. They're hollowed out, and within each of them is a cask with caps serving as the lid of the mushrooms. And you can see that each of these are full of a fermented mixture of water and honey.
Mead.
Mushroom wine.
There's a great beehive, considerably larger than the one that was carried into the cave, filling an ancient rotted out tree stump to one side of this destroyed tower. It's about 10 feet tall, twice as wide as the opening, and at the top you can see there are bees swarming around, kind of coming in and out lazily as they come down to the mushroom caps and go up through a tunnel in the top of the cave that leads to light outside.
So Jeltra will carefully set down the hive as close to the larger hive as she can.
Paulinella comes out of the hive, followed by the swarm from within that are surrounding her, and she makes her way closer to this larger hive. All of the bees come out and swarm around her. You can barely see her for a moment. And as they disperse, it's clear that she's been cleaned and groomed and almost shines with a sparkle as they seem to float just below her, nearly in reverence. She takes a moment to fly back to Amador, landing on his flower and walking around a little bit, settling down and rubbing her little bee body, and then stands up. And he waves as she flies back in to her hive, followed by her swarm, reunited once more.
We'll put a strong and understanding hand on Ampitor's shoulder.
My task has been completed. And he bows to the hive.
Truly great hero chooses the good of the realm over the love of a great woman.
Should we celebrate?
In the
Yes.
have at
We
it.
get into the mead, I guess.
absolutely.
Is any of the meat ready?
It seems the casks are arranged in order of their being aged. So one of them is much stronger than the other two. One is at its ready point and one's a little watery.
I start setting up camp.
Yeah.
There
We're
is,
going to have a celebration. That means we're going to have to sleep.
on the opposite side of the quarter from this giant hive, a large stone mound that appears to have been made into a bed, with makeshift scraps woven into a blanket on top of it and a stack of hay having been used as a pillow that appears to be Cyclops-sized.
Bed!
Yeah.
It was his home.
Thought so.
We walked right into his trap.
Well, technically, we broke into his house and murdered him.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I
We don't
will-
need to get into technics and specifics.
I will say
Amador
it's
needed
spider.
the blood of vengeance.
Oh, Paulinella. And he goes and settles down kind of next to the hive and just sits and sings to the bees.
Yay.
I play for him.
Gleam immediately goes to the strongest tap. This place is weird.
I will drop my
I
spider
mean, what do you
form.
expect? We're 3 mirrors deep.
Drop my spider form and tell the technically I think he probably took over the home of the bees and then because they said it was.
Well, someone get me one from the strongest, please.
I bring you over just the tiniest insulting cup.
And which one's for me?
While he's bringing it over, Percy goes up and grabs a full-size cup.
Wait, are these ogre-sized cups?
They are. Most of them are. I mean, there's like random little like bowls and things that
We
he's
probably have our
found,
own
but
cups.
yeah, you're
We have
traveling.
our own chalices.
And grab a cup normal to a medium-sized person.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And then as Cade continues to drink, the playing gets louder and more boisterous.
I'll join in. With
Yeah,
my
me
flute.
too. Violin it up. Violin, and I'll do the hair dance just in case there's any hair around.
Oh god.
Never hurts to make sure.
A wall hanging starts moving.
The framing of the blanket
Looks like
starts to
macrame.
wiggle waggle.
Beautiful.
He made it from whatever he could find.
So the wiggle waggle of the blanket, is it enough to be a significant amount of this material?
It's 5 feet across.
So it's like 5 feet of it?
Mhm.
Is that useful? I don't know what we
Up to you.
use his hair for.
Grab it. Blind somebody briefly.
I'd have to dance during combat.
That's true. That's probably a full action.
But you were willing to like moon somebody in the middle of
To
combat.
stop her from using her powers.
Well, then what's the difference between dancing and showing off your butt?
I think
As I'm playing my violin, there are so many differences between dancing and showing your butt. Dancing is an art form. Showing your butt is crude.
at this
But I
point,
will.
Cade's probably he's like, watch this. And he turns over and just wiggles his butt a little as he's playing.
Do you lift your tail?
No.
Because you
that
can
would
take
be
it very
indecent.
quickly to an uncool place.
That would be indecent.
What are the rest of you doing that are not playing music?
Clapping along.
Drinking.
Every once in a while, I ask Percy to,
Yeah, refill.
and then I.
Solstice, as you are clapping and stamping your foot, the rocks around you are kind of rattling as this is happening. One of them, about head height, comes loose and thuds to the ground. There's something that is a little shiny behind it, kind of shoved into the rock face.
I investigate that
Dancing
further.
was so boisterous, we did an investigation check.
You don't really need to necessarily.
It's a 10.
That is perfect. It's right in front of you, and you are a little drunk, so that it all works out. Out of this, you pull out something that's long. It seems to have been like stuffed back in behind this rock for hiding, and you have a quiver of Elona.
Interesting.
Each of the quiver's 3 compartments connects to an extra-dimensional space that allows the quiver to hold numerous items while never weighing more than 2 pounds. The shortest compartment can hold up to 60 arrows, bolts, or similar objects. The mid-sized compartment holds up to 18 javelins or similar objects. The longest compartments hold up to 6 long objects, bows, quarterstaffs, or spears.
That's really cool.
Is it? Can you spell that name? Quiver of what?
EHL.
O-N-N-A.
Sorry.
EHLONNA.
You got it.
Okay. Sweet.
That's awesome.
Well, this is an interesting hiding spot. It's not ogre sized, right?
No.
Okay. I wonder if this was put here by the miners or if the ogre found it.
So, having consumed quite a bit of meat, as soon as I see that, throw down or not throw down, but stop playing my flute. And I wonder what else is hidden here, and I'll start going out after the
Go
wall.
and roll investigation.
Next one to find a prize wins. And I put my loot away and I start running around looking for stuff too.
Go ahead and roll investigation.
I put my violin down and
Natural one. I am
With glee.
drunk.
With gleam.
Investigation. Does the booze help my investigation?
No.
Okay.
It does not.
We sure.
to quote John Mulaney, no!
11.
Okay. Were you
I am
Technically-
honoring the nat 20.
Woo!
I am acknowledging the nat 20.
So, You don't find anything. You're just like throwing rocks around.
This is pretty.
One bonks me in the head.
As me and Gleam just cover our drinks so rocks don't hit.
As you throw one that hits Kate in the head and then causes him to fall and dislodge another rock, underneath which is an empty crystal vial shaped like a pixie dangling at the end of a delicate silver chain.
And then laying on the ground. Ooh.
Wait, you
Your
guys don't leave
research.
drinks on the rocks?
It's a cave of wonders.
Even in your little bit of a stupor,
Mead?
with your natural 20, you start recognizing patterns and telling the difference between rocks that were moved and were not moved. A lot of the times you can see that like the ones that have been dislodged had kind of a shadow around them as a hole was dug out behind or beneath them. And you use that to see next to the bed there's one, and you're able to pry it off of the wall to find an untuned lyre of exquisite quality.
I'm just pulling rocks off the wall.
Cade.
Play.
It's not a lute. Can you
Okay.
play the lyre?
I can.
Is this something?
It is.
That's pretty.
That is gorgeous.
I will give it to Cade.
When you said untuned, do you mean it has to be tuned or attuned?
It has to be tuned.
Okay. I would like to tune it.
Go ahead and roll a dexterity check.
What does lyre music even sound?
Sleight of hand.
That's pretty cool. Harps and lyres are
A
really
little
cool.
hard.
It's the
Eight.
breathing.
It is not
I
untuned.
just don't know what it
It's,
sounds like.
it seems that because of the exquisite quality, it's going to take a focused mind and clarity to be able to bring this instrument from years of disuse. But even so, it is this beautiful silver with golden strings and string guard, seemingly woven with more silver within. But still surprisingly light.
As I am now pretty drunk, I'm going to use Mage Hand, which is just my swarm, to pants Percy.
Percy, roll a dex save.
That's 6. 5.
It's not going to meet the spell save DC. Percy is pantsed as he is facing the wall, looking at more stones. A full moon for
Not,
you all.
not full moon, just down to his underwear if he wears it.
Percy.
What is Percy's underwear?
Checking whether he wears underwear.
He does.
What's it look like?
As a bunch
Bright
of
pink.
bees just swarm your pants and then like lower them and then fly.
It's pixie pink.
A sight to behold.
I would have done it to Cade, but he doesn't wear pants.
I
Gleam
look down, in fact, to
spits
make
her
sure my
mead,
pants are on.
cackling.
They're still there.
I would never joke. You're a lady. Or something.
Percy looks at you and like points a finger and like starts mouthing something and is like, no, it's fine. And then he just kicks his pants off.
Woo!
And keeps drinking.
I slam down my cup and just chuck my pants just down to my little loin, the loincloth that looks like briefs.
Ditto. I am very embarrassed, like red now. Like everybody's in their pants, and I feel awkward thinking that I need to do that too. But
I look
I'm not
you
drunk enough.
deep in the eye and go, never feel pressure to do anything you don't want.
I
I
take a
tighten
big,
myself.
I take a big swig of my drink, put my cup down, and I make a show like I'm gonna take my pants off, and I just go, and all my fur goes, but nothing changes. The fur like goes ruffles. Thank you.
I would like to use Mage Hand to put Percy's pants on Cade.
I see what's happening, and I don't.
All right, no save necessary then.
Okay, but how big are Percy's pants versus how
They
large?
wouldn't fit on him.
They're both
Well, are you
small
small?
creatures.
Are you
small,
small?
yeah.
Okay. Then I mean,
They're a little short, but they do fit.
Prepared for the flood, I am.
Are you
whatever.
Are you all taking a long rest?
Eat their food?
No, just your rations.
Then I throw out crickets to everyone.
But wait, mushrooms are edible.
But not
these
mushrooms that have been repurposed for.
Can I do a nature check to see if any part of these mushrooms are edible?
Sure.
Yay.
Dog boys.
There's honeycomb. Can we ask Pollyanna for some honeycomb?
Sure.
Pollinella, goodness. So 8 for my nature check.
They are deathly poisonous.
Don't eat those.
I look down at my drink. Should we be drinking this?
Maybe that's why it's really effective.
William, I can't help but notice that you're still wearing pants.
Don't feel pressured to do anything
Not
that
at all.
you don't
Not
want
at
to do.
But also,
I'm wearing pants that aren't mine. Percy, do you want these back?
It's a party.
I don't care.
I'm very.
does that mean she's taking her pants off, or it means she's keeping her pants?
She's very comfortable with her pants. Amador asks Polynella for some honeycomb. It is allotted. It brings kind of a stack of dripping honeycomb over to the group and sets it down.
It's like the 3 a.m. Jack in the Box of meals.
Yeah.
Sugar and wax for all.
Sugar and wax for all.
Percy's gonna lay in the middle of the floor and just start gnawing on a piece of honeycomb that he's dipping into the mead, and
Yes.
then like chewing it.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
After we've gotten even drunker, I'm gonna stand up and go, my husband is one of the grand protectors of the Moonwoods, and so by marriage I am kind of a noble, and so I pronounce you and Polynella, Dandelion and Bee, you may now kiss your bride.
Did he just marry them when they didn't want to be married?
They didn't explicitly
We-
consent to being married.
Are indeed Dandelion and Bee.
Forevermore.
And Polynella's kind of resting on one of his petals and just kind of like moves around and settles back down.
Beautiful. That was lovely.
From the ground.
Sometime, roughly 8 hours later, you all awaken in various states. Gleam, having fallen asleep, leaned up against the wall with a half-full mug still in hand. Amador, having not partaken, as a flower,
We poured some on his roots at some point.
is well rested and comes over to shake each of you awake one by one.
Amador?
I thought that now my quest was complete. It would be a good time to get on to yours.
Yes, in 3 more hours.
Not
It's
so
fine,
loud.
Amador.
Someone turn the sun down.
There is no sun, Gabe.
Walk in
We're in a
after
cave.
exercising.
I'll say,
Good morning.
I feel like my
To
constitution's
find
pretty good.
Cave
Like,
fallen asleep like in the opening of the cave, so he's the one person that just has sun across his head. It's like,
I moved my swarm over Cade, so he is not in the sun anymore.
oh, excellent, warrior king.
Indeed. Well, sunlight is. We really should come up with a plan for the mine. Can I get a sense, if I like walked around a little bit, can I get a sense of how far the mine is from where we are?
Our stones of good lucks.
Walking around outside,
That's right.
it seems that you've led in like almost a circular path around the Fey beacons, and going the opposite direction, you actually got back to the Fey beacons within 15 minutes or so.
Okay, so I have no idea how to get to the mines.
Well, so from the Fey beacons, they were just a bit south.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So even though it kind of took you guys some hours to walk around and then run into the Cyclops and then find this cave and come back, the other direction goes right back.
Okay.
It is clear without Amador we would be hopelessly lost.
It's full light, so we've lost the element of surprise. Maybe we should go undercover. Act as laborers.
My love, but it's in a mine. Would light matter?
I just mean that the workday is well underhand.
But we don't even know what these creatures are. I thought we wanted to attempt diplomacy.
Okay, that's why I'm asking what the plan is.
Well,
Diplomacy, though, they are minions of the hell.
according
What
to
could we give
the
them?
racist, potentially
They're-
racist Stone Queen,
They're suspected minions of the hag, but we don't know if by compulsion or by obligation.
what the bunny said.
That's good. That's true.
You look so good in pants.
Are you still wearing pants?
Percy wakes up in the Cyclops' bed alone, but you have that whole slab of space
I slept so well.
without pants.
Even better.
Percy,
Did Jelda and Cade cuddle?
Probably, yes.
Sweet.
Percy, he found that little pixie necklace. Is that magical?
Give me 11 minutes.
I found really pretty raw.
It'll be just enough time to pee.
Oh, that new beautiful lyre. Can I start trying to tune it?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a sleight of hand again.
Can I assist? While peeing?
Sure.
I'm like listening to him. I'm like, no, tighter.
13.
It is not totally in tune, but it is much, much better.
I'll keep working at it throughout the day.
Cade, is there
Lower your next DC.
Cade, is there a realm of understanding that when you fully tune that, it like turns into some kind of monster that tries to kill us?
I mean, at this point, nothing would surprise me. However, this doesn't feel at all.
Liam, does that happen in this mirror? Instrument creatures?
Not that I've seen, but I'd also never seen this swarm of bees in a hive that size. And she looks up at the 10-foot tall hive.
It is beautiful.
I have not been here as long as it seems.
I apologize. I was just wondering.
Last night will always be remembered as the night we feasted on delicious meat, had the freshest honeycomb I've ever tasted, and had very little worry.
And found out that the thing we were drinking out of was incredibly poisonous.
What?
In the light of day and sobered, these are common mushrooms.
Oh no, these are fine. Who told you they're poisonous?
You did.
No, these are, and I'll rattle off. So it's like, no, these are fine.
Are they poisonous or are they not poisonous?
I don't know.
Watch,
By
and
the
I'll just-
bottle.
Eats one.
It is
We do it at the same time.
an empty crystal vial shaped like a pixie.
Can I take another 11 minutes and cast Detect Magic to see if anything else in here pings?
The hive lights up,
Mhm.
and the quiver of Alana lights up.
And keep
The
tuning.
loot doesn't, or the layer?
It's just really nice.
I go through and I like hold against it and I pull the strings a little bit, get them to stretch out a little. Keep tuning it.
Almador comes forward with a sack that's dripping. Pollinella brought these for our journey.
What are they?
More honeycomb.
I guess it breaks up the
Very
monotony of the
lovely.
crickets.
It's a little sticky. I've lost a couple leaves.
I was gonna say we could put it in a bag of holding, but we don't have one of those.
As I
Put it in your pocket, kid.
the waistcoat of holding.
All right.
But the worst part is because technically a bag of holding, you can only fit something that fits in the top of the bag, so you have to like break it up into little pieces.
I could just reach into the pocket now and just pull out pieces of honeycomb.
I mean, unless it doesn't work that way. Is it more like cartoon physics where it's just like you can just put the whole bag in there?
Within reason.
Yeah. For a sight gag. It's
Yes. I just want to see a Mary Poppins.
bag of honeycomb.
No, like a coat hanger.
Or a
Yes.
10-foot pole.
Yes, it fits in the top of the pocket. Like, all right. Are you all setting off?
Yeah.
I have that. I'm just checking my spells for the day. Sorry, guys. Go ahead. We can continue.
I am going to remove the boggle hair from the blanket.
Okay. So you have 5 feet of corded hair.
Corded hair. Thank you.
Did he get the tune?
He was close, but he didn't finish it.
Can I attempt to help him because I'm proficient with Tinker's tools?
Sure.
Okay.
You guys can take another stab at it.
Cool.
So that
Guidance.
like advantage?
I don't
Okay.
have that spell.
I have guidance.
Get yourself.
Why don't you use that every time you do anything?
It just seems meta.
That is the video.
18.
Finally, after both Cody and Percy have helped, it sounds beautiful. And getting it perfectly in tune, it resonates throughout the cave, and the bees fall silent.
I play the opening riff from Welcome Home by Coheed and Cambria.
I wish I was more of a music nerd to understand that obviously funny joke.
Why that one?
It's just such a.
Have you seen 9? It's in there.
As you finish, the bees resume their humming.
Is Paulinella like available, or is she like in that life now?
She is in the hive, but you can request her availability.
Paulinella, my queen.
Floats at the top, lazily comes down.
And will kneel and hold out a hand. You have been a gracious host and a wonderful companion. I will take her little bee limb and kiss her on the hand. I want to waste my once a day speak with animals on this interaction. Yes, speak with animals. What did she
She's like,
say?
damn it, now I have to make her speak.
I do not know why you giant folk are so interested in us, but whatever you are here for, I appreciate being reunited and the company of this lovely flora.
You mean your flower love? This is in B.
Yes, my lovely flower.
No, your love, the flower.
The lovely flower.
Oh.
Cody looks distraught and goes, "Fare thee well, maiden."
Lovely flower, lovely flower.
And she goes back over to Amador and like settles down and still kind of like nuzzles against.
I
Jeltra,
will
you
miss you, lovely flower.
Jeltra, you don't speak Sylvan, right?
No.
I turn to you. I need so many hugs.
Okay. Are you okay, Cody?
And then in Sylvan, I tell you what just happened.
Yeah, you didn't.
She doesn't love him.
And
You just pronounced them.
that's okay.
You just pronounced them
You
B
speak
and
Sylvan
flower.
now?
I thought you were talking in common.
No,
Sorry.
it's
Okay.
in Sylvan.
You just pronounced them B and flower as Nickade is hugging you. It's okay.
But it's unrequited, like your love for Jeltra. But I use our nickname for Jeltra, so she doesn't hear her name. It's like your situation with the Elfie one.
Hey, I wouldn't go that far, okay, Cody?
I mean, have you even told her?
Who says unrequited?
Well, it's
We-
unrequited until you know that it's requited.
She comes down and nuzzles against his stalk before returning to her hive, and he bows again.
And Sylvan goes,
I know the tone.
Oh no.
I will remind you all, they've never spoken.
I know, but Cody's just this hopeless romantic who is entirely too invested in other people's love lives.
I look at Cody and I go, And I turn to Jeltra. Jeltra, you know you're an amazing being, right?
Well, thank you. So are you.
Thank you.
And so
One might
that is not what we were talking about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, common. After they were doing that. No? Oh, no. Bad
Okay.
guy.
Get really red.
The dandelion and the bee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, isn't that what she was doing? Nuzzling into his...
No, she is a
Petal?
stone-cold, heartless harpy of a bee, and I will not speak of her anymore.
I look at
Amador.
Amador.
Comes up and says in Sylvan,
Oh, fuck!
You didn't even check.
While I appreciate everyone's concern,
the love that I received and the love that I gave were exactly what I expected.
You are a nobler flower than myself, because I am shattered.
I turned to
I am a flower wilted.
Deltra to fill you in.
Margar's dying over.
Percy is like creeping closer.
Oh, sorry, Percy. And I go and stand between you two. So Amador loves Polynella, but Polynella called Amador a lovely flower, and Cody can't. Agreed, but Cody can't wrap his head around the fact that it's lovely flower and not flower that she loves.
Oh,
So there was a little bit of a misunderstanding. However, it seems to be okay. Cody just can't handle that.
I think for her kind, being her lovely flower may be the closest thing to love.
It's true. She does have sex with all the males in the hive, like daily.
I stick out upon beautiful understanding.
And as I told you, our relationship was never one of physical debauchery.
I kiss Amador.
Basically, it's just like shoving your face into the flower. But I do think, and as you're still shoving, same tone of voice, like nothing being blocked at all. But I do think it is time that we depart. My mission is complete.
Yes. Noble. Most noble of knights.
he's a very lovely flower.
Still with Cody pressed into his face. Onward!
I disengage, face covered in pollen.
Petals sticking out here and there.
He reaches up and brushes the pollen off with a leafy hand.
And I turn to my companions and apologies, I was taken by the moment.
I find it very reassuring and lovely that you feel things so deeply.
What do you mean deeply?
Well, strongly.
What do you mean?
But
We just watched a flower get its heart shattered by a bee, and then he nobly accepted the sacrifice.
I did. I
How do we
don't
know he got his
I don't
heart
see him
shattered?
shattered at all. He seems very.
Everyone is doing very well right now, Cody, except for you.
I am satisfied. The job well done.
We had
My
an
love.
excellent night.
Yes,
Rather
it seems
nice
like
morning.
you do not need to be upset on the Sir Knight's behalf.
Has romance just left your heart? Is it soon to be that you will toss me aside for some mundane pursuit like brewing or inn-making?
Actually,
I will
there's-
not be dignifying that with a response.
I'm just saying, where has your heart gone?
Cody, there
Can
is
you feel my
something
heart?
that Solstice and I do need to tell you. I'm joking. I thought I was trying to make a joke and make it.
Oh.
I understood where you were going.
Hey, give me the cold heart.
Almandor and Glebe have followed Solstice out of the cage.
I can offer you a cold shoulder as I turn.
Oh,
At 2. At 8. Have you all turned your cat situation back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Reluctantly. Because now I'm like, pants.
And now
You can't Donald Duck it. Your dick is.
I know. I have underwear on.
I
And my
debate
pretty little pink boxers on.
wearing pants now, as that was supporting. And Delta complimented them on me.
Next time we meet some frogs, we can ask them for pants.
As you all make your way back down the
Make 'em
path
wait.
in the direction that Solstice has
Good catch.
that temporarily Solstice was exploring earlier. You find your way very shortly back to the Fey Beacons, as whatever path you took to get here was way longer than what this would have taken you to get here. And from there, in the distance, Briganock Mines still looms ahead.
Do I hear the tinking of the?
It is incessant and only comes when the wind seems to blow this way. When it settles, it's gone.
You guys hear that?
And you hear the people sing the song of angry pickaxes.
Men.
So we go with Can You Hear the Picks tonight?
I was gonna go with mining men.
We
Mighty,
all come
mighty,
up with our
mighty,
own pickaxe themed
Yeah.
parodies as we
Which
walk.
death upon me.
Making your way downtown, making your way towards Down to the pickaxes, losing sight and regaining sight of the towering heights of the mine in the distance. You make your way back past Lockbury Henge, that you can see the Koreds hurling rocks towards the mines that never reach nearly far enough. But it is cathartic for them.
Are they anywhere in our path? Are we worried about getting hit with rock?
Not where you are right now. It seems most of them fall off the cliffside.
Got it.
It is truly a fraught endeavor for the Koreds.
Would it be, to kind of retcon just a little bit if we can, would it be out of our way to go and check on Saphira? Was that her name?
Fenia?
Fenia.
The goblin.
Yes, the goblin girl.
I feel like the more times we visit her, the higher the chance of somebody following us and finding her.
I just want to make sure she's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know what it's like to be on your own in the wilderness, but I wasn't that young when my mother passed
If
away.
you
and
had
so
love in your life, you would never be alone again.
I did have love in my life.
I angrily shake you off.
As you cross towards that plateau, seeing the side of the mountain where she had her cave hideaway, and the little goblin hand shoots out and grabs a lizard.
Wow.
You doing okay?
And then there's the sound of
She's good. She's good.
oh, hello,
Hi.
tail gone.
How have you been all right? Spent the night okay?
Yes.
Good.
She just reaches onto the wall and grabs a piece of moss.
Oh, we've got some honeycomb. Give her a piece.
She reaches into Cade's pocket.
She takes the honeycomb, she puts it on the moss, and she smushes it all up until it's just a little sticky ball and pops the whole thing in her mouth. That's real good.
We helped some bees yesterday after we talked to you, and then a
I
prank.
think we bottled some mead too, if you want some of that.
No, not yet. Well,
Maybe if we water it down?
This is fine.
Just, if you're gonna drink this too, when you're gonna go to bed.
it'll help you sleep.
I'll leave her a bottle of the watered down mead. She said there was one that was real weak.
Is it glass?
Mm-hmm.
It looks really gross, but okay. She puts it in a corner where you can see just like several pieces of lizards that she's eaten parts of and left on the side.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that you were all right. I know sometimes it's a little scary being on your own. But we're working on getting to helping your parents, and
Reminds me, should we tell her about the... No, we shouldn't tell her about that.
The goblin procession came by, and I don't think they saw me, but it was comforting.
goblin procession.
They go by nightly to honor the dead.
Oh,
Ironic.
But I think my parents are still in the castle.
well,
Okay.
if they're in the castle, then we're gonna try and find them as best we can.
Okay. Tell them I'm in the lizard moss cave.
Lizard Moss Cave will do.
They'll know what that means.
Okay, glad they know. We're gonna see if we can find a shortcut or a secret way in. I don't want to give you too much information just for your safety, though.
Okay. And her hand's kind of inching over as you talk.
It's fine. Enjoy.
Wriggling lizard.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Bye!
Bye.
As the lizard gets shaken about.
Its tail flying off.
Bites the head off and puts the carcass by the side.
Whoa!
Keep it for later.
Yeah.
Great. There you go.
It's a good plan.
She's a strong, independent goblin.
I'm glad she's okay.
Yeah.
Concerned about her nutritional needs.
I mean, it seems to be serving her just fine right now. Maybe this is a place that her parents have told her about that is safe and that they're used to going, especially if her parents know about it.
Hopefully I
They're
didn't kill
familiar.
my parents.
Yeah, hopefully. And we're just gonna walk.
Within a few hours of walking again, you pass multiple lightning rods in the sky. It is not storming enough right now for them to be activated, as kind of this mid-morning fog that's lifting and settling creates a lighter sky above, still completely covered in clouds. You pass by where you had seen the pageant wagon previously, the trail of where it left still stopping where it vanished. And finally, end up in a forested area.
How did we walk past the thing that we passed earlier and end up in a different place?
No, remember I said retconning a little bit just to go see her.
No, but I mean, we walked past we walked to this, it's just commenting on how it doesn't make any
It's
sense.
because we came from that way, not that way.
A bird caws, "Whatever you need to tell yourself."
Exactly.
Bird speaks common.
This sparse
And it's strangely perceptive.
This sparse forest doesn't seem to have much life in it, but as you are approaching the massive structure that seems to be a hewn mountain almost in front of you, you hear the sound of hundreds of tiny pickaxes and hammers chipping away at stone. It emanates from the mouth of a cave that has fingers of rock reaching skyward above it. Statues of irate, hairy creatures with cloven hooves are positions that they lean around trees and peer over boulders, all staring balefully at the cave entrance.
Hello.
Like Koreds.
There's more Koreds down here?
No, they've been turned to stone.
If you remember, if anybody wants to roll a history
I do.
check to see if you remember.
Oh, I remember.
11.
I actually remember.
So, Gialter doesn't know about this, but you two remember that they talked about carving Korid statues to try and scare the Briganox. And they place them in front of the cave so they never come out.
That's right.
Very well done.
Whereas I just think they turn them into stone.
No, they're
We-
statues, Jotra.
We have to be worried about. Well, yes, because they got turned to stone.
No, I mean, they told us that they carved stone statues and put them at the entrance to scare the Bakugogs.
My brain's still fuzzy.
He's right.
Oh.
What are you guys
Oh.
whispering about?
Oh,
I'm shocked too, to be frank.
I thought your name was Nikid.
It is.
did you have an uncle? You had an Uncle Frank.
I had an
Is
Uncle
it
Frank who was
possible to speak
notorious
with you
for
before
just
we go
being
into the
blunt.
mine?
No
Yes.
words spoken that had to be.
Wow.
In a private place, perhaps.
Are you guys okay?
I will follow you.
So I take you off to the side and I try and take your hand again.
I let you.
Can I roll perception? Because I would have been interested in what's happening.
You better roll stealth, bud.
I have ears.
I don't know if I want to use Pass Without a Trace right now.
You can roll perception.
Dulcis. Not a pet name or some other thing, as I take to use those for granted. I do not wish to go into this mine and potentially die with this uneasiness between us. I apologize for the words I said. I was in the throes of emotion, as you know I am wont to do, and still unused to being able to hide what I truly feel. I deeply apologize if I offended.
I appreciate that. You wound me when you doubt my love. Have I not made the biggest sacrifice one could make for true love? And to imagine that I would just throw you aside. It's just my fault, maybe. I have not been as open with you about my emotions lately. We've been distracted. We haven't made love in hours and hours.
And honestly, the greatness of the sacrifice that you made for our love is often what makes me the most insecure. For I fear someday you will grow to resent me and your new form.
Yes, I can see why you would have that concern, and I share it, but I try every day to be happy about the choices that I've made, and I always succeed.
If the roles were reversed, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Let us hope that we do not have to make any more sacrifices.
Should we return to the others? They're probably very concerned that we're either making love or arguing.
Yes, they're probably definitely very concerned.
Yes. I take your hand and I walk back to the group.
With your 18, you heard most of it.
As you guys come back, my ears are pointed forward, and then I notice
I take no notice of that.
Well, lovely afternoon.
You will be pleased to know that me and Solstice have come to understand a greater understanding and love for each other, and the shameful display of emotion on our part earlier today has been resolved, and we apologize deeply for any discomfort it caused.
Take heed, young lovers. Squirrels and spats are a normal part of every relationship. But as long as you are open to communication.
Communication is key. Telling people how you feel is key.
I look at Amador and Gleam.
Common shrugs.
Let us go.
Relationships have squirrels?
She meant quarrels.
I know. I was joking.
But we call our quarrels squirrels because when I was young, I couldn't use the SQ. So we started, no, the not without the S. It's hard to say quarrels. So we would just call them squirrels.
I wouldn't think that any display of emotion, if it's true, would be shameful.
Indeed.
But definitely
Better out than in.
talking about it. I mean, that's what
You-
Granny would say,
You're
especially
truly,
when I was angry at Mom.
you're truly wise beyond your years.
I think it's just living in the woods you have a lot of time to think when you're by yourself in the
We
woods.
mostly made love, honestly.
It's a great time saver. Time
Time waster?
Time,
Well, I wouldn't call
time
it waste.
passer. I would say.
It's a great activity to
It's a
participate
great
in.
pastime.
Hobby, even.
Yes, and a
Amador.
location.
No, you know, it's actually a
Points
great
at the
work.
entry of the mine. Did we walk?
Yes, let us continue.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we should not speak of this. Our friend is incapable of mammalian reproduction. It was probably uncomfortable.
But more so, I just thought you all wanted to,
I would never go into a death situation with bad feelings between my companions and my love.
Oh, not at all, but I assumed those were handled.
At this point, yes.
Well, Gleam and
Onward?
I will guard the entrance.
You're not coming with?
I don't like terribly lighted areas.
Oh. What if it was pleasantly unlighted?
Perhaps.
All right, let's go. I start going.
Okay.
I follow.
As you step inside the cave, the tapping noise stops.
I'm going to.
Hail.
Soon as
Oh.
as soon as that happens, I want to cast Pass Without a Trace on us.
Oh, I thought we were gonna go in
Oh,
with
wait, are we-
diplomacy.
Oh, are we doing okay?
Diplomacy
Never
was the
mind.
worst.
Never mind.
That's why I would just be like,
Then I will cast
hail,
Dark
workers.
Vision.
Hail, workers of this mine. We come to parley with you.
There's no response, but shortly after you speak, the tapping noises resume.
Oh, okay. All right, I move towards them.
I'll take out a torch.
The mine, as you enter, is a twisting labyrinth. It seems that there's every wend and wake as it goes forward. The walls are covered with small, glittering particles that light up as you hit with your torch.
Beautiful.
As you wander deeper, the pathways seem to be constructed. They're all about an even size, just large enough for like a pony to get its way through.
I don't need the torch. You enchanted one of my buttons with light, didn't you?
It's only 5 feet. And those ran out. Those are done.
Torch then.
About 10 minutes in, you haven't encountered any sense of life yet, and the tapping still seems to be coming from every direction at once.
Are there offshoots?
So that was going to be my question. So, like, do we feel like, given the sound of the tapping, we should have encountered something by now? I'm very
Most of the offshoots that you come on are just small little empty rooms, some of which have
Okay.
little tables in them, some of which are just empty.
How? Like, are they dusty? Do they look used?
So far, everything seems to be in the same state of use. It seems like most of this area is active.
Okay.
What these things look like?
At roughly that 10-minute mark, there's a room that opens up further. It's about 100 feet long, and at the end of it is another little archway that matches the door that you entered through.
And are there any signs of life, or any footprints, any tools laying about?
On either side of the main pathway that you've been walking, there are tracks, as if for mine carts, that enter out of smaller doors and into smaller doors.
Okay.
There are pillars on either side that have gems stuck in them, lighting the room with a soft, warm glow.
My torch out.
I need everyone to make a Constitution save.
Oh no.
Oh,
See?
are we getting drunk again?
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've been drunk.
Constitution. 6.
12.
8.
13.
7.
That's sad. The Jeltra got the best.
Hold on. Is this some kind of charm effect?
It is a charm effect
Okay.
that will cause you to fall asleep.
Well, magic can't put me to sleep. That's just saying,
Everybody in the room but Jeltra, and as you're walking across, commenting on the scenery, slowly drifts to the ground.
Oh, can we just do it fast?
And
Can I just like
lands.
walk in and go, yes.
And at the end, the only one left, Jeltra, standing in the middle of your friends who have all passed out on the ground.
Guys.
Do I
Do we
wait
wait?
when she rustles
I'm
me?
trying to disturb them now. Okay. Then oh shit, this is not
Can
gonna
we super
work.
adorable for all my moths from my swarm to just be like cuddled
Can I
up?
get rid of it?
You just picked spells today.
I did, and I meant to I got dark vision and I was thinking, oh, I can get dispel magic, but I won't need that.
Always dispel magic. Counterspell and dispel magic should be on everyone's spell list at all times.
Damn it. All right, then I am going to. I don't trust what's going on around me, so then I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace on myself. And try and stealth away.
Are you going to hide or stand in the middle of the room?
No, I'm going to hide.
Okay.
I'm hiding. I want to see what
He has
happens.
Pass Without Trace, and then she turns into a naked mole rat. Blind.
Let them take our
Wait,
shadow.
if you're a wood elf, don't you have that hide in plain sight thing?
If I'm a wolf?
Nature's veil. It's like if she was behind mist or a waterfall or something.
Let
Okay.
me see. As a dire wolf.
Isn't it shadows
No,
now?
dire
Oh, a
wolf is
wood elf.
Wood
A
elf.
wood elf. Hold on.
Isn't I think
Well,
shadows
she's
now
actually only
too. Right, but you get that wood elf descent thing.
if you choose it. How much it is? She just wanted the
16,
skills.
26. for a
26.
stealth.
Okay, as you hide behind one of the pillars silently, about 5 minutes later, you hear the sounds of tiny wheelbarrows peeking out from behind the pillar. 8 Briganox are
What does a
pushing
Briganock look like?
tiny wheelbarrows
Finish.
as they whistle to themselves. Kind of just pleasantly, they look like this.
Cute.
Oh my god, I've never wanted to play a race more than
Yeah,
this.
you want to show the audience, hey?
Can we put this in Starfinder?
Briganox. Each of them wheel, not having noticed you, their wheelbarrows around to the different players, and they have ropes and pythons and hammers in them, and they take them out and they start pythoning them into the ground and pythoning on the other side and like start securing each of the sleepers down to the ground.
Okay.
How many Briganocks are there?
8.
8 of them.
It's a little
So,
much for you to take on.
yeah, okay.
And they
I'm
are tiny. They're about
Fireball.
even.
tiny.
So they're the size of cats.
Kitty cats.
Okay. So then I will
Read their
what can I
mind.
do.
They're fireballable.
No. As they stand
I don't know.
around you all asleep.
So what if they're
Hardier.
because then
I
I know
want
if they're
to-
bad or not.
That's true.
I want to look at them and try and see if any of them has anything distinct on them, like any distinct object or
They all seem, I mean, they're all definitely individuals. They all are kind of slightly different in color. They
Okay.
wear different clothing. None of them seem like they're dressed in a manner that denotates like a leader or something of that
Okay.
means. But they're all just kind of like humming and whistling and smiling and like chit-chatting back and forth to each other as they do their work.
do I recognize the language?
It is Sylvan.
Shit. Of course I don't know Sylvan. Okay. So Shoot.
Are they being careful with my swarm, or are they being rude about it?
You noticed as they do this, there seems to be this feeling of pressure as suddenly all of the motions speed up, and all of them are moving much quicker, almost as if they're in a time lapse.
Okay. Does it seem like they're, aside from securing my friends to the ground, are they doing anything aggressive, overtly aggressive, like they're going to hurt them?
No, they don't even take a pipe into anybody's clothing. They give it far away enough from the person that it won't damage anything with them.
Okay. All right. I'll keep watching for the time being and try and notice this time warp kind of thing.
Within about a minute after it began, they're all done. They've all successfully pightened everybody down to the ground and are packing up the remaining tools into their wheelbarrows and then whistling, go back into the hallway from whence they came.
Okay. Wondering if I hurt you guys, will you wake up?
But you could do 1 point of damage, just like stab one of us.
Wow.
As you are debating this matter, there's the sound from down the hallway as a tall, slender human clad in dark leather armor comes forward, their friendly face brightly illuminated by a tiny wisp of light that floats next to a mouse-sized creature perched on the human's shoulder. He looks over to the pillar where you stand. Greetings, trespasser. Didn't anyone ever teach you to knock?
I'll step out and say, there was no door.
And that is where we'll end tonight.
Dude, there was like 4 times tonight. I was like, he's gonna end it right there. He's gonna end it right there. He's gonna end it right there. I was like the last 30 minutes, I've been like
What's gonna happen?
on the edge of shitting because I was like, I don't know when it's gonna end.
Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We'll be back in about a half an hour after watching this live with the Candlekeep Mysteries. Say the name for me, Margarita.
Vikran's Zephyrian Tome.
And if you're not watching it live, it's already posted on YouTube, so you can watch it now anyway.
You probably are.
Yes. With that, thank you so much to all of our patrons: Sparky, Dossivid, Daniel, Rio's Mom, Alistair, Sean, Rockelman, Deathgrasp, Eric Fox, Meepo, and Dream Lover. We appreciate all of your support. If there's anything that you would like to see, whether you're a patron or just a viewer, please let us know. We're always looking for more suggestions on things that we can do that you guys would enjoy. So, yeah, keep us posted.
To address something on the Discord that I'm going to send you a message about. Anyway, anyone, anywhere in the world can send us snacks.
And we will be sending prizes to, I believe, the only person that had a prize from the Blood Sands was Rockelman, so we will be sending you your prize.
The only one out of Tucson.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yes, out of Tucson. Other people will just hand it to me. So, yeah. With that, we'll come up with the tagline eventually.
Get back.
See you all soon.